Hey everybody, welcome. This is the read for the Capricorn full moon happening, well, I think right now or as close to as possible. Some people were doing stuff Saturday night there, so I'm doing this on Sunday. Whew. To say that there is a lot going on is probably the understatement of the year. It's good though, because we knew this was going to be the time and the place to get this all, the ball would get rolling at some point, and then once it did, it just was not going to stop. So, yeah, I probably will just go right to the cards. I didn't shoot a video earlier this week um, because I thought that the Feast of Mary Magdalene um, was last week on the 17th, but it's actually tomorrow, the 22nd, I think. Anyway, it doesn't matter. The only thing that matters as part of that is that there is this divine feminine energy really strongly coming through. So I'm sure that will come up in the cards, and we are going to read some of the goddess cards. Um, I, of course, started to look at the meaning of the Feast of Mary Magdalene, and it's kind of, you know, it's the religious interpretation, including the things that, I don't necessarily believe were true about Mary. So I didn't really like write anything down. I think the most important part would be, just like, and it goes along with this Capricorn moon really nicely, is ever since last week, um, actually, ever since that last Capricorn full moon at the beginning of end of June, whatever it was, um, Capricorn is like, it has to do with structure and uh, top down structures, government, religion, like everything, right? Any sort of business, that kind of stuff, money, finance, but in the way of like how things are structured. And it definitely in this last few weeks has been shaking it up, right? All those systems. And we knew these systems would always have to come to an end, to a point of crumbling, because you can tell we're having a heat wave. It's a little warm up here. None of my makeup is staying on at all. Oh well, whatever, right? Um, so yeah, we definitely are in this great transition period right now. Things are shifting and changing very quickly. Um, like I said last video, it's all about just keeping our wits about us, not uh, feeding into any kind of fear. It's still funny how like what a hold some things have, like, you know, this whole new digital ID, like any of the previous things that they like scare tactic or whatever with us. They lasted for a little bit, some of them longer than we wanted to, but more or less they've just been, particularly lately, just fizzling out because they just have no power anymore. Sorry to say that out loud. Well, no, I'm not sorry to say that. I'm like, sorry, you used and abused us for far too long. Humanity is done, and we are standing up for ourselves. All right. So yeah, pretty much we're gonna go right to the cards, see what they have to say. Um, like I said, I feel like with this moon, there's a lot of, moons are always feminine energy, but there is a lot of there's just a lot of like, yeah, there's a lot of like, as we shift and change, um, there's always feminine energy. Ooh, there's four cards. We'll just leave it there. There's always so much feminine energy around birthing of a new, which is what we're doing. Sort of. We're still in this period where the old is collapsing and dying, and it's not necessarily super pretty out there, but it's like, don't panic. Just don't worry about it. Um it has to happen too, right? Like, we cannot bring in the new until the old is gone, right? All right. I mean, there couldn't be a bigger divine energy coming in. We got the cosmic egg, which is the divine feminine. I hold the universe within me. I am the force of ever expanding love. What a great card to have. Pretty much like just says everything about this moment is we're birthing anew. It's not quite hatched yet, but we're getting there. Um yeah. The key is love, right? Ever expanding love. Okay. So we also got White Buffalo Calf Woman, not a surprise as well. The prophetess of the sacred way. My heart is a compass. The path of love is true abundance. It's all about love. It always has been from the beginning. We also got, well, probably butcher the Secula, the prophetess of true power. I call my power back from all times and places. I am my own. Yeah, this is the key right now too, right? Is that everything that's happening is fine, and we we're letting this happen, but we just haven't watched it all play out. I mean, but we still have to do our work, right? And part of our work right now is that power and structure represented by Capricorn has previously been taken away from us. Um, and not just taken away, but like it's been under control of not our own things. And this card is 100% about claiming our sovereignty and saying, I will not comply anymore. I am not listening to that. I energetically don't subscribe to you anymore. Like you have no power and you have no control, right? I'm just it's that thing of like the Wizard of Oz, like the minute that she like, you know, yeah, the minute that she just kind of like relinquished and was like strong on her own, it's like, or no, what am I trying to say? It's so hot. Um, it's like what Glinda always says to the Wicked Witch at the beginning around Munchkinland. Is she's like, you have no power here because if we're in our own sovereignty and have claimed our power back, there we are, right? So that's something we definitely should be working on, and that's just an intention continually being put out there saying, hey, you know what, no, I am my own sovereign divine being and I make all my control and choices and everything for myself. um Interesting enough, look, the lioness is in there. So again, approaching Lionsgate on the 8th. But this again, lots this time, like normally I think when we think of Lionsgate, and actually did we entered Leo season today, I think. Yeah. So the energy is interesting though, but it's Leo season and we always I feel like we always put Leo as the masculine lion, right? The head of the pride, but it's like this feminine energy is just as important, if not more so, right? So kind of claiming that within yourself too, right? Be the lioness and protect yourself and stand up for your rights. We also got Hestia, which is she's I know this without even reading it, is sort of the goddess of hearth and home. So little bit of a focus this week. That again, it's the same with the pride and the lions, right? It's like uh, protect your home and protect yourself and fortify that, and don't worry about anything else going on in the world. It's just like you and yours. Make sure you're take care of yourself. So she's on this card, the goddess of sanctuary. No matter where I am home. That's interesting too, because I feel like we're really being called to stay close to home with, like, like on the midweek when there was outages and flights were canceled and that sort of thing. So we're just, I think, we're being given little hints that it's like, you know, be ready. And it's more important that you're staying at home. And how we take care of ourselves and our family is making sure we're stocked up on food, making sure we have cash in the house, making sure, all of those things. So what's coming isn't going to be bad. It's for the better, but it's going to look awful, and it's going to shut down everything that we know and we know how to work with right now, right? Like the internet. Like I may not be able to put out a video in the next like month. Who knows how this is all going to go down. But really the strong feminine energy coming in is like tend to yourself, tend to your family, tend to your home, um, take care of things and make sure that that you're stronger together. The most sacred sanctuary is found within me. So that's always good too, because that's also tipping us off to the fact that we really need to be, again, taking care of ourselves and doing our inner work. And that inner work is just, what the big thing that comes up is love, is making sure we're emanating love and love for ourselves and not, you know, not, not, again, not putting ourselves down. First, love yourself. I'm just going to keep this card out, the cosmic egg. I hold the universe within me. I am the force of ever expanding love. And just because it's like the perfect card to say, here we go. Okay, let's look at what this moon in Capricorn means for this time and space. And everything now will be, it's not date based. So don't lose yourself in, there's like the the Gregorian calendar, the Julian calendar. I would say don't lose yourself in calendars at all and dates. It's going to be more about events. So from now on, it will be more about. um, it will be more about um, moons, solar cycles, all of that. It actually always has been. So don't get your hopes fixed on any dates if anybody's out there saying anything. Like, just kind of go by, well, first of all, first you should be going by your intuition and your instinct, right? Okay. First up is nothing is yet set in stone. Okay, that's important, but in a way that you might not think. It's like, yeah, everything that's about to happen, it's like, again, it's not set in stone. There's no dates, there's no times. So don't, this takes as long as it takes. It might happen really fast. It may take months from now. Just don't lose hope, right? And nothing is set in stone too. Is it's like the plans that were put in place for us. Again, that we can change those. We still have the ability to change, and you know, and take control of our own thing, and take it back from that control from others that previously think that they are in charge of us. Um, we also got your dreams need a practical plan. So for this moon, then it's definitely saying like we have all these big hopes and dreams, right? Of what the new looks like and how we're going to get there, or what it looks like, what it feels like when we're there. Um, Although we're not quite sure how to get there yet, right? Um, this is just saying you need to have a practical plan in place of just like all it comes up is doing the work. I know is like make sure again that you're manifesting, that you are praying, that you are meditating, and we're not just like leaving all of this up to chance and fate, right? Like again, that just puts control in somebody else's thing. You have to be in complete control of how this goes and what it ends up looking like and what it manifests. So make sure you're still doing that work, because we also got a new start is coming. Yeah, it's imminent. This card is a new moon card. So we're full moon, which then would put us the new moon. I'm not sure what the date is going to be, but the next new moon is, so it's just saying, again, make sure your plan is in place, and that just might even be like what it's talking about with a practical plan of being in your home and being safe and secure there, no matter what goes down. Like, because this is the thing, you guys, is if the internet goes down, it's it's going to be rough because we rely everything runs off of it, right? So I would say what it's really telling us to do is like have a plan in place. And this isn't doomsday prepper stuff. I mean, you could go to that extreme if you wanted to. I think this is just basics, right? Make sure you have enough food for 10 to 30 days, whatever. Um, you might end up like, you know, if you can't afford to get things right now, um, just get a big bag of rice and some beans and things like that. Like I know we might have to pay 30 days of Survivor, like where we don't have anything but rice to eat. Like, but here's the thing is like again, let's not panic. Do not panic. Again, this is all supposed to happen exactly as it's happening. So the things that we can do is that we be prepared, right? We just be prepared whether it happens like that or not, at least you're prepared and you could take care of your family. And I think that's the kind of plan they're talking about right now. Not this like big, um, ooh, they're just, every time I go to shuffle them, the top one like is like jumping out. It's only going to do three, but it wants four. Whoops, or five, or six. Ugh, no, not doing six. Anyway, make sure you have your plan in place. Just again, not just we just want to be like in the best place we can. And the nice thing is that if you suddenly have no access to the internet or your bank account or any of that stuff, is that the best and safest place for us to be anyway would be in our home. So make sure and with that home, with Hestia coming up with that home card, make sure your home is set up so that you're going to be comfortable, and you're not panicking, right? Like this, just let this happen, go through the process, and just come what may, you guys, it's gonna be fine. But like make sure, yeah, maybe you want to go out and grab some tarot cards or some books or something to do. um I still have all my CDs, so like this has happened before when we lost our internet, uh like a year or two ago. It had actually been disconnected at the main box. So they were trying to troubleshoot it for days and days, and so I listened to CDs and like read books. It was like it was kind of nostalgic actually, but it was awesome. So that's what I'm saying is just make sure you're keeping your wits about you and that you're like we're making our home our comfortable space because we could be in here again for like 10 or 15 or 20 days. Who knows? If it goes that way, basically what I'm saying is just be prepared. And in all kinds of ways. Use that time too if it comes up to be spiritual, to meditate, to like get the things you need to feel safe and secure yourself. All right, let's see what else we've got. We got the sun dancers, joyful activity, celebration of life and abundance. This is all the new that's coming in. Um, so as all this crazy stuff is happening and going down, keep your wits about you because we're headed to this. We are headed to this abundance, to celebrating life with all of our fellow, uh, not just mankind, but like every living being on this planet, animals, everything, right? Just keep that in mind. We're almost there. Um, we got the Lady of the Mirror, reflection and non-judgment. Again, as we go through all of this, we're gonna have this like crazy. Um, there's still people that are not quite awake, or they're just starting to wake up. It's so important that we're not judging them, like that they get to go through that process on their own. A lot of them are going to go through it at an accelerated pace, and they're going to need our help. So um, just make sure, just don't be judgmental against them. Um, everybody goes through this at a different process and speed. Um, and we also got fairness and balance. So again, making sure that we're not. I know like a lot of this process is there is a lot of bad and evil in the world, and and justice needs to be served to some of these people. But our job as divine souls is not to judge them, right? That happens on a higher level. Um, so our job is to just see that light in everybody, even if they're dark, 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 dark. Everybody has a little bit of that light within them. Whether they choose to go fully into the darkness or to come into the light is a whole other subject. And again, that's not our judgment. Um, so we're here to hold the balance, right? And hold the scales at like an even level and and just, it's not that we have to accept everything that happened, and it's just that it's not our job. It's not our job to do the judgment on that part. That's the big gap. Okay, we also got the big picture, the Eagle King, the big picture, and angelic help. Yeah, so all this is saying is like all that animosity and judgment and like all this division and everything we've been going through for the last 4+ years is, it's almost like it's a moot point. We have to let it go. We can't keep stirring the pot, getting involved. Um, Again, if there's people that are like, you're just like, you're so dumb, you don't see it, like that's judging them, and that isn't where we're supposed to be coming from right now. It's like, okay, we just have to let them go through their process. So again, stepping out and seeing the big picture is like, again, we're not just participants in this, but we're also like I said, we're holding this balance. So it our job is to make sure everybody has the opportunity to choose the light if that's what they want to do. We also got the River Queen, flow, letting go, and natural movement. See, yeah, it's just really a lot about this week like about we have to let go of like how we think this should go, what we think should be done to people, and all of that, and just basically give it up to God. Like that is not our job. Our job is we are here to witness and we are here to hold the balance. But a lot of the things that we know or we're going to see and get revealed is like, I think if you're watching this already, we already know a lot of like what's been going on, truly going on this planet. So this is about us. Like we're here and we came first to be the way showers, right? So how we show the way is by not judging someone as they're going through that process themselves. You all went through that process at some point. So like now we just let go and we let the plan play out. And that's all it is. And sometimes that's hard because I mean, some of the stuff is pretty evil and gross, and we want to see like heads roll for it. um, we really have to let that go. It's kind of like this whole thing that's been going on. I don't want to say a lot of names and things because then, like, I still don't know if YouTube's like AI, like bot, like just like, you know, censoring everything. But um, the whole thing going on where with that attempt on Trump's life, um, and people were saying, all kinds of nasty things, and that was really hard for me because I have a problem with we shouldn't be wishing for death, right, for anybody. So I have to also, you know, I have to live that principle. I can't say that I wish death on other people too, right? It's a two-way street. It works both ways. So I can't be judgmental against them if I'm saying the same thing myself, right? That's sort of the point I'm getting at. Okay, we're gonna leave it there because that's let's see what else is going on for this moon. We'll take these guys as advice cards. Yeah. Hopefully this reading makes sense too. I feel like it might be a little bit all over the place, but the heat, I'm just like, I'm not good in the heat, so. Yeah, okay. Okay, this is perfect. Perfect. Okay. How do we do this, you ask? Number one, trust the universe. That's all I need to say about that, right? This is a moon in Aquarius too, right? This is where we're trying to head into this age of Aquarius. Um, that's embodying everything as it is, right? Trust the universe. It knows what it's doing. Um, this is the non-judgment. Leave the past behind. It doesn't matter. I hate to say it, like all of that stuff, none of it matters. What matters is now and where we're headed. And that's always been particularly like how we should be living our lives and manifestation. If we're dwelling in the past about what somebody did or like any of that stuff, we block ourselves from moving forward. We're not living in the now. We're not living in the present moment. You can't have a future if you're like so far in the past. Um, yeah, this is really about letting go of all this judgment and what we think should be happening to others. But we also got to honor your feelings though. And I do still think this is important. After some of the stuff I've seen, and I've actually been talking more about it to people, and it's like they're like, "How did you ever watch?" There's a certain video. We won't say any names. Um, how did you ever see that and then were able to carry on? Well, I'll tell you the first little bit, I wasn't. And you go through all the stages of grief with stuff like that. And that's going to be coming up for us, you guys. When we learn some of this stuff, even stuff we knew, again, that piece is there about wanting to see justice for it. And we might. I don't know how this all works. Again, it's not our job. But do honor your feelings. Don't brush that under the cupboard. If you're like mad, you get to be mad. You get to be mad. It's again the principle of don't stay there, right? We can't stay in these low frequency emotions and move forward. So um, it's about honoring it, recognizing it, and then as quickly as we can, letting it go. I'm not saying you have to forgive. I'm not saying you have to forget or any of that stuff. But it's just like, don't be taking on all this emotional baggage because there's going to be a lot of it. And there's going to be a lot of like, um, how did we let this happen? Uh, all of it, anger, fear, like it's all going to get churned up in these next 6 months. It's going to be, um, it has to be the way it is to cleanse this up and then move forward. So keep honoring your feelings. And then we got trust all will be well. Leave it up to the universe. Don't try to figure out stuff yourself because that's the other thing. In the end, it doesn't even matter. I'm going to quote the Linkin Park song. Yeah, we could worry about it all day, every day for lengths of time, and um, it's gonna go a different. It's gonna go the way it goes. It's gonna go the way it goes, and we just have to again, it's not about like ignoring it, it's about acknowledging it, accepting it, grieving it, do whatever you have to do, and then moving forward. Okay, so yeah, the other advice cards we got is process your feelings. So again, we're not sweeping this under the rug. As things get revealed, have your moment with it. Whether it makes you happy, makes you sad, makes you laugh, makes you cry. Do those things. Don't hold them back. There's a lot of things like, some of the stuff, especially when it involves children. It's, you're going to want to have a good cry. I've had many over this like 4 or 5 years. where I just was like, how could this be? See, I'm tearing up now. We have to process those emotions. We're human beings, we have emotions. Like, it's very important that we're not stuffing those under, or going into cognitive dissonance as well. Like, no, it's not, that's not happening. That never happened. That could never happen. Humanity would never do that. I have news for you. Humanity did do that. But we need to, like, this is, again, I've talked about this 2 weeks ago, reconciliation. We're in a reconciliation period. We have to acknowledge everything that's happened, grieve it, mourn it, love it, and get to the point. This point, here's the point we need to get to. We got change your tune. This is about, this is the judgment card again. This is really coming in for this moon, is like, be really careful about how much judgment you're throwing out there. Take a minute and step back and just see the bigger picture as this all comes out for what it is. We also got support. So make sure you're leaning on, your like-minded friends again. Like, and, and feel stuff with them. Like, be like, this thing really pisses me off. And have the conversations and feel the feelings and work through it. Work through it. That's, again, this is what we're being asked to do. This is how we hold the balance. It has to be worked through. It has to be reconciled. It has to be healed. The only way we heal it is to feel it. I know, cheesy, right? Take a big breath with me. It's a funky time period that we're in right now. But it's going to be okay. We got the celebration card. Moon dance. Do a moon dance. Celebrate. It seems weird right now to be out there celebrating with all the wackadoodle things coming up. And when those really hard ones come up about what's been going on, the hurtful ones, the sad ones, the heartbreaking ones, as soon as you can work through that, and again, it's about that love connection from the beginning, is putting this divine feminine energy into this healing process, because that is where we are right now. We are in a massive healing process, right? The path of love is true abundance, right? I am the force of ever expanding love. We came here to cultivate, grow, expand, and love everything. So above all, this moon is always return to love, right? The return to love. That's probably what this video is going to be called. Okay, I'm gonna keep reading because I've got a couple other things to say. All right, let's see here. Ooh, 1, 2. Okay, so yeah, again, a key piece, and even I've been feeling this because with everything going on, I and the heat, like not getting proper sleep. It's really about making sure, for sure, taking care of yourself first, putting on your oxygen mask, getting yourself in the best energetic place you can. So proper rest helps me look and feel my best. I love myself completely and unconditionally, making sure we're still working on those elements of taking care of ourselves, not just, putting out the love for everybody. We have to be good first. And then when I let others shine, I shine too. So, yeah, honestly, this is just coming through. It's like, keep doing the inner work, keep expanding the love. But this is really about the outside world and other people right now, because they're about to go through a very profound and difficult shift. If you guys have even partially woken up here, this is not an easy process. There's about to be people that are going to go through this at such an accelerated pace. They're going to need support. That is that support card too. It's really important, because the thing is that we're supposed to be working together, right? We will be working together. with supporting each other so that we can get to this moment of celebration. It's big right now, you guys. But yeah, make sure you're doing your due diligence with taking care of yourself too, right? Like we're not just out there like emanating love and light and sending all our energy out and depleting our reserves and then going, oh, I'm exhausted. I can't do anymore. It's about conserving your energy, and this is like your love energy. Um, yeah. Hmm. He's gonna fall off of there. Okay, we got the what I seek is seeking me again. So yeah, just I feel like this is about the connection of other people. So we're looking for that connection with others that are in the same wavelength and understanding as us. And there's people out there, and they may not be fully awake yet, but they part of them is seeking that already. So I really feel like this has a lot to do with just have to show them, a lot to do with that those moments are starting to come together. I am always mindful and live only within each moment I have. This is what I was just talking about not being in the past, living in the present moment. This is the only way we create the future. Because if we're not doing these things, um, we slow down the process. The process is going to happen. It's not stopping at any point. Nothing can stop what's coming. Um, but we can slow it down for ourselves where we're not in our optimal place, right? To, you know, to be going through this process. So, yeah. And then I allow my soul to lead the way, right? This is the biggest thing is like tuning into our intuition, our higher self, our soul essence. It already knows the plan. So you could ask it at any point, what do I need to do here? Like really start to like I think the nurturing of things coming through in the cards is the part about taking care of ourselves is making sure we're in touch and in tune with our soul and asking what needs to be revealed, where we need to go, what should we be doing in this moment. So I would say that's the thing for this moon. There's a lot coming through, right? Different things about taking care of ourselves, being prepared, getting our family uh, close, and keeping that nice and um, protected, and just yeah, really starting to listen to our soul. And then again, with those divine feminine cards from the beginning, is really tapping into this love energy and expanding it. All right, I'm going to close the whole reading with the Nature's Rhythm Oracle. So, like I have to read the book for this one because, I mean, I could probably stare at the fractal and the and the mirror image and eventually get something, but it might take a while. Kind of silent here as I did that. So we'll just read the book. Because her stuff is like amazingly bang on. There we go. That came right out nicely. Yeah. Ooh, interesting. We got the warrior card. I am brave and fearless warrior of love. Here we go. It's all about the love still. Coming back to that. What number is that? 37. Warrior. I am a brave and fearless warrior of love. Fear stands for false evidence appearing real. Fear exists within you. Like the warrior, be strong in overcoming challenges and do not cow to worry. Fear is insidious and feeds on itself. Love is the antidote to fear. I could stop right there. Love is the antidote to fear. Choose more love and less fear. How can you embrace love and starve fear? Hmm. Well, that's pretty much what that moon means. It's like really embracing love, um, and not going into fear about all of these things that are coming up, but just returning to love, right? Return to love. Oh, awesome. Okay, we're gonna leave it there. That's the moon. I'll be back tomorrow with a weekly read. Because man, I don't know about you, but I'm enjoying the weekly reads because definitely, definitely like stuff is like coming through. Like that was that whole thing about the 17th is it was like something's gonna happen, and it wasn't just particularly on that day. It was like almost every day last week. So yeah, I like the weekly reads. They've been very prophetic. Yeah, I said it right. Okay, take care of yourselves. Enjoy this moon. Return to love. Always return to love. And take care of yourself and love yourself. And we are all in this together. And where we go one, we go all. And nothing can stop what's coming. So just enjoy the ride, you guys. That's the biggest thing right now is like if you can pull back and look at the bigger picture and know where the ultimate end of this ends up, all the things we've been dreaming and manifesting about, then we have no fear because we've already won and we're going to get to that point. It's just there is no other like outcome. That is exactly what we're doing. And it's great. So again, we don't need to have any fear because we already know in our hearts that we've won and we're, building and creating this beautiful big new earth, right? The cosmic egg. Let's finish with that one more time. I hold the universe within me. I am the force of ever expanding love. All right. Take care of yourselves. Have a good night. And breathe too. I think a lot of us are just holding our breath too often. Okay. Take care, you guys. I love you.